One of the biggest questions WWE fans have been talking about recently is Bron Breakker good enough to be the face of the company? And we are going to be answering that and much more in today's WWE Reddit video. Starting us off, we have Eddie Guerrero 20 years ago saying Dom would be the greatest Guerrero of them all.
Who is going to be the best Guerrero of us all?
This is peak storytelling. A story 20 years in the making. Dirty Dom. Dominic Guerrero. Now, it's actually quite funny just how this reflects each other, where, I mean, Dominic is saying he's the greatest Mysterio of all time, but that Eddie Guerrero is his father. A little bit weird, but this is something that deadbeat of a father, Rey Mysterio, would never say. He's a fake one. He doesn't love his supposed kids. How can he be against dirty Dominic Mysterio? How could he do that? He's such a vile deadbeat dad, and you all know it. You all know it, and yet you still cheer for him. You still cheer for him and boo Dominic. How dare you? How flipping dare you? God damn, I'm so stupid. Apparently, Kaiser and Stratton are no longer together. What do you mean? What does this video have to do with anything? I mean, first things first, it's not our place to get mixed into their business if they are together or if they are not. But the video you posted here, this is El Grande Americano. I mean, El Grande Americano found himself a really nice girl. So what? Okay, now we're going to be talking about a little bit more serious stuff. Bron Breakker is good, but not the face of the company good. Why do you think this? Now, why exactly do you think that he is not face of the company good? I don't get it, because to me, he most definitely is. If you've heard the man on the mic, he's amazing. If you've seen the man in the ring, he's amazing. If you watched interviews with this guy in them, he's amazing because he gives these real interviews, and yet he doesn't necessarily go overboard with it. He doesn't reveal everything about the business, but he talks about the business, and he's really eloquent, which is kind of interesting considering that his uncle delivered that infamous math promo.
66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
I mean, we all know that Scott Steiner is a college-educated man. I'm just talking shit here. Of course, that doesn't mean anything. Scott Steiner was just that kind of a persona, but still, I don't see why Bron Breakker couldn't be the face of the company. I really don't. And I see a lot of people talking about this, and whenever I hear anyone say, it's either about his promos, which, I mean, he's really hilarious, he's smart, and he knows how to handle the crowd. Great stuff. Some people are saying that he's just a born heel. I don't necessarily think so. I think he's a great heel, don't get me wrong, but I definitely could see him as a face. Not necessarily a white meat baby face, which is something that a lot of people have talked about, that the face of the company has to be a white meat baby face. Which, when you think about the likes of Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Hulk Hogan, yeah, sure. Then you think about Stone Cold Steve Austin and you realize, nuh-uh, not at all. Then you think about the guys like The Rock and it's nuh-uh, not at all. So I definitely don't necessarily see that he couldn't be a face of the company because of this. So I still don't understand why people think this. Will he be the face of the company? Probably, yeah. Like, I think so. It doesn't mean that he's going to have to be, because we have so much great talent in the WWE right now. And he must be the front runner for face of the company, but not necessarily like he has to be. I don't think he has to be, but he will definitely be on like top 4 during that time. That's just my opinion. He has great promos, great in-ring, great backstage persona, great interview persona. Backstage is just, from what I've heard, what I've listened to, a lot of people say nothing but great things about the guy, how he's really helpful and how he's willing to learn and everything. He's really respectful. So I don't see why not. I'm not saying he will be, but I just don't see why not. Surely there's no way that WWE can fumble this lineup, right? This is a really touchy subject in my opinion, because everything the WWE does is a fumble according to some people. I like this saying, and I'm definitely gonna make a video around it one day, probably soon, possibly soon, because I do want to get into a little bit more of scripted content eventually, like pretty soon actually. Not every single video, don't get afraid. It's just like once every 2 weeks or so I want to make like a scripted video. And the first topic that is definitely going to be that is everybody's an expert, but nobody's a fan. Everybody has their own opinions how everything should look like, but nobody is like just a fan. Nobody just enjoys this, but I'll get more into that. Whereas where you look at this lineup, I see people complaining about Julia, I see people complaining about Cody Rhodes, I see people complaining about Jade Cargill and Stephanie Vaquer. Those four mostly. People are going to complain. That's it. Like, people just are going to complain, and that's the reality of things. There's nothing wrong with it, there's nothing good with it. That's just the reality. I'm not saying that's how it should be. I'm saying that's how it is. Shout out Tom Scott. But, what do you mean by fumble? Like, what do you mean by fumble? According to most people, it probably won't. According to people who spend a lot of their time on the internet discussing, being really extremely hardcore fans, you are never going to please them. You just are not, and that's fine. That's completely fine. That's just how it is. So it just depends on what do you mean by fumble. I don't necessarily think they're fumbling anyone right here. I see a lot of people complaining how Stephanie Vaquer is doing nothing right now. What do you expect necessarily? She just won the championship. She didn't have any big rivalries getting into the championship, so of course she needs some time to build up rivalries, to build up matches. And she's on screen. She's on Monday Night Raw every single week trying to do that. And she will. I'm sure that she will. But yet you still see people complaining how she isn't doing anything because she's had the belt for what, a month and something now, and she still hasn't had like a banger reign. Of course she's not going to. Of course she's not going to. When you think about Roman Reigns, a lot of people were, after like, let's say 1 or 2 months of his tribal chief reign, a lot of people were disappointed. They were like, oh, they're doing nothing with the guy. Later on, it turned out to be possibly the greatest reign of all time. You think of Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign, and you look at it, and when you see what the people were talking about when he just won it for the first month, 2 or 3, even more, people were talking how it was one of really bad championship reigns. It needs time. It just needs time. Let them have time. That's it. Where is Randy? Have you seen him? That's a really interesting question. We haven't seen Randy in, I think, a month and a half now? 2 months? Something along those lines. And it's really interesting to think, where is he? Does he have an injury maybe? Possibly. I don't think I've seen anything about it, but that's definitely possible, unfortunately. Especially with how injury prone he has become over the past couple of years. I mean, it's just an age thing. So if he does have like a slight injury, I'm happy they're holding him back for a little bit. Also, what might be, and what I'm thinking is the case, they didn't want to have him on screen for too much because people would still be begging for him to turn on Cody Rhodes if he was on screen the whole time. And maybe they're saving that for a different moment. Maybe, possibly, Survivor Series War Games. That's like where a lot of good turns have happened and can happen. So I definitely see that happening here. However, if he was on screen for the past 2 months, people would just be mad about it, and that's it. So maybe they're just keeping him off screen to keep that talk away and saving it up for War Games, or maybe even later on something. You never know. You really never know. So again, it could mean many things. We don't know. I'm hoping he's fine and that he's not injured, that's all. But yeah, that's been it for me. Please let me know what your thoughts, your opinions. Please make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. We're on our journey to maybe hit 1,000 subscribers one day, and I'm really doing my best, uploading basically every single day. So if you want to join me in my journey, please make sure to do so. Share this with your friends. I'm in a bit of a slump when it comes to this YouTube channel right now because YouTube is just not sharing any of my videos, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to keep going, so please, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to, again, comment, like, do anything, do some interaction, show that people can enjoy this video. Maybe YouTube listens to you. Thank you, and goodbye.